Okay, this is going to be a long-ass video. And since half of you want me to do history and politics intros and half of you don't, I'll split the difference. April 11th, 1954. Nothing happened then. The only day in history that nothing of any note ever occurred. I think there was also one in the 1930s, maybe, where the BBC, I can't remember the exact date, they locked their music and said there is no news to report. That was all they did. So there you go, there's your history lesson for this. Let's go over everything you need to know with Summonzon, Strafezon, whatever you want to call it here. Because the old guide I had on this is a little outdated. Let's start with the build, I guess, first. Yeah, every build is going to have Decoy, Valkyrie, Pierce, and Strafe maxed out. Synergies of each other, Strafe for the Decoy, yeah. Pierce and Penetrate, or Strafe and Penetrate are synergies of each other, and you're going to do damage, while kind of spawning some minions that do some decent damage as well. And you'll have 3 Valkyries if you're running all passive and magics. You can do a Strafe, a pure Strafezon version of this, but they all work the same. The remaining points are yours to put where you want. I have mine in Pierce because getting to 100% Pierce is really necessary to make this work. And it does have a synergy with the Valkyries. So on these synergies, by the way, Power Strike does nothing. I've tried dumping into that. Every season I've tried playing this and it doesn't do really anything. And I think Towel said that the Critical Strike also doesn't do anything or never did anything. So it does help for you, obviously. It's displaying correctly now. They fixed this in seasons past. The passives weren't working on like the movement speed for Evade or the Critical Strike. They do work now, but I don't think the hard points do anything for the decoys. So Pierce is a decent option for me, but you can go into faster run walk. You can multi-shot. You can do this as a hybrid if you want to run like a Bariza or an Eagle Horn like I had on my old hybrid. You have enough points to get multi-shot not maxed, but up to maxed arrows, and then you can just sort of be in everything. That's really all there is on the build here. I mean, stats-wise, yeah, enough strength to use your gear. I'm a little overcapped because I have the G-Face for bossing, 141 for the upped Demon Machine. And you can dump into Dex. I dump into Vitality because I don't like to die. And split the difference, which is what I've recommended in the past for more damage. But I have 2 deaths. One of those was at level 7, and one of them was on Lucion, where I could have just X'd out if I was on hardcore. So this is a very hardcore-friendly class. If you are doing everything right, it is impossible to die in maps. You're just... anything that's dangerous, the only 2 dangerous things in the game for this are really Harpies and Dolls. Dolls barely get a chance to get close to you before they pop very far away from you. And the Harpies, if you drop a decoy right in front of them, they're mincemeat too. Gear. I still love the Disciple set with 3 sockets on the armor. It just adds that damage to demons and undead, the skills, the res. You have damage to undead on the chest and damage to demons on the gloves. You have 65 all res, technically total. And you get Canopy Frozen from the boots. I did Desecrate a Telling of Beads and got a God tier 1. But you can run this with either Peace or a Fortitude. Wapenator had my Fortitude, but this is a perfectly acceptable set. Throw on like an Atmos for extra camp. Alright, cool Tri-Res boots, and then you can throw on some skills and some cast rate. Where's mine? Alright, cool. Now you get 48 faster cast, breakpoint hit, decent amount of damage, and you can spawn your decoys much quicker. So with the style I have no FCR. That makes, I use 1 decoy at a time. If you run this style, getting these out is much easier. On that note, you can also just wear a piece and go for a 4th Valkyrie. And that is, they nerfed it because it was too good. It had 2 skills on it as a roll. But that is a perfectly acceptable endgame armor. The 2 to Critical Strike doesn't do much because you have the passive and magic skillers, but if you're going for max damage charms, for example, I mean, 2 to Critical Strike is going to be, 30% crit. So that's decent as well. Hang on, let me throw these back on. And sort of explain what I'm doing. So, let's look at stats over here. I have 98 Crushing Blow because I do have a Demon Machine with 2 burrs in it. I found out that Crushing Blow is just awesome for this. You don't need the burrs. Everyone's like, I already have people being like, you got 2 burrs in there, this is super expensive. You can find a 5-socket Demon Machine, fill it with Doles for, you know, what, a gull? I think I sold mine for a gull. You can get a G-Face 3-socket for a Vex. They're Vex every single season, and that's 35 Crushing Blow, and you can get Crushing Blow in your bolts. So 60% was about where I was realizing in maps this was absolutely shredding. So, the other stats, Critical Strike and Deadly Strike. These are separate rolls, so how do you figure out how they're rolling when they're, well, separate, right? So, take... Ooh, hey. Fix this for you. 61 and 25. Alright, so the formula, you can go find the formula online, but here's the easy way to do it. It's 100 minus 61, which is whatever, 39, right? And you multiply that by 100 minus 25. Divide by 100. Minus 100. Game, please. I have 70.75 effective chance to do 1.5 damage. That's how you do that, right? Do it again. 61 minus 100 is 39 times 100 minus 25 is 25. There you go. Divide by 100 minus 100. Super simple. So as you can see, because you have separate rolls, the Deadly Strike is not an extra 25%. It's diminishing return. 25 Deadly Strike adds effectively 9%. The Deadly Strike isn't that important, but it's the best stat I can get on the gloves, I think, so probably get all. I think I have a pair of those. But, like I said, perfectly acceptable to run with all this other gear, the castrate. Weapons, though. You can run any weapon, it's really. Witch Wild. You can run Eagle Horn, and like I said, do that in a hybrid. You can run Bariza. You can run Mist. Mist, and you throw on a Templar's Might and a Faith on your Act 1 Merc, and you have Vigor and all 3 damage orbs. That's a perfectly cool way to run it, especially if you play in groups an awful lot, right? Bolts. This is another weird thing. Bolts have, I always said, hey, if you have perfect quivers, you can sell them for like a gull. You're going to be waiting a while for any of those that are, you know, you think they're god tier because every stat on them is perfect. Bolt prices are a little all over the place because of the crossbow changes. They basically sped up the animations for crossbows and made them better. That means everyone's playing multi-shot Bariza. Bariza's also went through the roof, another acceptable weapon. But because of that, I mean, you can find your own bolts. None of these are like perfect. Even these aren't perfect because they don't have the passive magic skills. But you can just pick up bolts, guys. I don't know why people say they have problems finding good ones. Like, look at those. Those are perfectly fine, too. Any of these would work. ED, passive magic, fast forward walk, deadly strike. I mean, you can find... This is just what I found walking around. I haven't even slammed all of these. So, I don't recommend buying bolts. I mean, people are just price gouging on them and asking for 4 high runes for the perfect one, and it's like, I keep watching this one dude dropping his bolts down and down and down as no one's buying them, because the bolts are there to round off your build. Like, I need a little bit of pierce, and I like the crushing blows. That's what I'm using for now, right? Playstyle here. A little weird with the way I've built this, but let's say it's an open map. It is. No. I want a vision. Well, what? What's wrong? Where's the ruins of... Yeah, here's a vision map. This is a good example of what you kind of want to do with this. If you have low FCR, like I do, I have 0. Yeah, I have 0 on this. You can't really... Those decoys spawn so slowly. They do some decent damage, but what I use them for is to gather people up. Put one at the farthest point out, and people will line up on the decoy, and you'll get more multi-shot procs to go off, especially with the faster minions, faster enemies circling up around them. It is defensive too. Like I said, once they stack up, you're getting more procs, and that's a good thing. Also a good thing if you don't have the multi-shot proc and you're just running the strafe, because then all your strafe bolts are going into a centralized pack. So watch what happens when I like run into the middle of something. This is what people always do wrong with this class, and they say it's slow. There's a decent pack. Alright, there's stuff all around me, and then they're doing this. Yeah, that's a lot slower, because you're spinning around 360 degrees, launching all your bolts. You want everything to stay in front of you as much as possible. So things like throne maps, especially if you're running this style with the damaged demons, those are your home base. Maps like this, you kind of got to control the packs and go from there. So you can see though, if I were to switch to, let's say, the FCR, or heavier FCR style, it's so much easier to get the decoys out, and it makes it a little more viable. We actually use them as damage instead of just a stick. See them work. I mean, this is just your minion. It's decent, but you really, like I said, you want to be the one strafing and doing something. And obviously, this is without auras too. I just have the Might Aura from the Merc. But if you had, when you have Fanaticism and the Mist going, yeah, these things will pop things. They're really good for taking out really small enemies, but yeah, the bigger ones they struggle with, and that's why I have all this Crushing Blow. Speaking of which, you can see even with 40% Crushing Blow, I mean, watch it. Better pack. You don't need 100. Like I said, I'm going balls to the wall for the memes. The 40% Crushing Blow is, or 60% even, is like perfectly fine. A little bit goes a long way. The way Crushing Blow works, we have to kind of talk about that too. I wish I'd done this in stats. Crushing Blow works on bosses, but not really. It has diminishing returns. So if you look at the PD2 wiki, they have their own little formula up there, which we should probably pull up. Doing things the proper way. PD2 wiki. Alright, let's go to game mechanics. Crushing Blow. Alright, here's the formula that they have. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense the way they've written it. So I actually asked Wapinator what he thought about it, and let's go pull up what he said. Formula out there. It makes much more sense when he explains it like this. Right, here we go. So it's 1 divided by 80 plus missing HP to the power of 2. So here's how that works. Again, 1/80th of current life when you start, but when they're half health, the Crushing Blow is only taking out 25,000th of a life there. So the Crushing Blow has, like I said, diminishing returns. It stops working effectively when the boss gets below, 90% life even. Your first couple of hits work. The Crushing Blow is very good for regular adds or minions, though, because it's chunking out 1/8 of their life every time it procs off. That's why a little bit of Crushing Blow on like a Whirlwind Sin is a really good thing to have, because it's attacking, 8 to 10 times a second, something like that with the Whirlwind, and it has the Blade Shield. So a little Crushing Blow, it's taking on all those things, and it's just chunking pieces of life out of them and making your clear speed that much faster. Again, in terms of charms, we kind of went over. I have passive magic lifers because I do like having them up, but you can go with max damage charms if you're running a full strafe zon. Probably get a better Torch and Annie, but really, this is a pretty cheap setup. And the only other thing you really want to get, I do have the Call to Arms, is a teleport staff. This is a decent farmer, really. I use this. I have a Tal Sork I was using to farm up boss mats. I switched to this because it was honestly, the Sork's a little bit faster, but this was just, it one-taps everything in LOD content. So with the teleport staff, I was clearing things a lot faster. Bale was going down faster on this than on the Tal Sork. So it's a decent farmer. It's a great mapper. I think I got this into A tier category. I mean, an 8-minute throne. Canite said 7-minute average is like almost mechanically impossible for non-teleporting classes, and I got it down to 8 minutes without that demon machine. I mean, what more can I pump on this? I've now taken down Rathma, granted on tier 0. I've taken down Lucion, granted on tier 1. And I'll try to get tier 0 Dclone down, but with the pillars, Strafe's on is amazing. I was even able to get past phase 1 of Rathma, the way that they have it set up. But I'll throw on the throne. I'll try to get a Lucion tier 1 kill recorded. I'll throw on my Rathma kill, and I'll try to get a Dclone down at some point here in the future before I put this video out. But man, I do love this class, and I know putting this out, I'm not the biggest content creator in the world, but I know I'm affecting the market because every time I do a video, price of my gear goes up. But I am playing this next season. I absolutely love this class. The way I've built it now with the crazy amount of Crushing Blow, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. This is the most fun I've had playing. I'm actually proud of what I've built, and the kills I've gotten with this thing, because it's not a class that's meant for it, and I'm pushing it to sort of new heights. So thank you actually to Chug That Estes, who actually really I stole this from. I made this into my own thing now, but hey, your strafes on back in the day, dude. That's what I was looking at. So, and remember when you corrupt your addies not to brick them. Thank you, Wapinator, for wasting my Twisted Worlds dojo. What have we not gone over? That's stats. That's the type of gear you can use. Any bow you want. We talked about the bows you can use. You can run the Dark Adherence style. You can run kind of the Fortitude style. You can run the FCR style, faster cast rate style. You can do damage with your decoys. You can do damage yourself. You can get different types of skillers. It's completely variable and fun. That's why I love this. You never know how you're going to build it. You know, a low rune drops. All right, looks like I'm going the Fortitude way this season. The Dark Adherence start dropping. All right, guess I'm going that way. Skills start dropping. All right, I guess I'm going Summonzon again. The only other thing, let's go show off, I guess, real quick, the old original wall suit character. So this is, like I said, that multi-shot style where you have enough points, you get your multi-shot up. And with an eagle horn, I mean, 6k multi-shot is not very high, but trust me, this works. There's a couple that you can go check videos. I have this highlighted in several videos in the past here. But you can run it with this. You strafe around, get the ravens to come out, which do a decent bit of damage, and then you can multi-shot everything down too. I mean, it absolutely shreds. This is obviously very expensive with a wisp and a 3-socket CFP Crown of Ages and, you know, all of this on here. But like I said, you can build this in anything. And if you don't like the Summonzon, which is one of the best starters, especially for killing Uber Tristram, but you can just switch it to pure multi-shot. Perfectly fine. And not like a demon machine is that much of an investment. And if you're not sure, well, go with a Mist or go with a Bariza. And if you don't like it, you switch it into a multi-shot build. You got a Fortitude, which is going to be standard on multi-shot anyway. You might have a 3-socket Valkyrie wing, which would be kind of a, not standard, I guess, but pretty good helm, right, for a multi-shot build, or a G-face, good for a multi-shot build. So, I think that's everything. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forget something, but I'll throw on all the highlights, and hope you guys have fun with this, and hope no one plays it, because I want to keep this cheap next season. See you later. Yeah.
They'll change positions. Who's currently in the bracket right now? The conference opens. Two of the conferences are ranked 12 and 3. And it's just like you depend on how the everyone's team. There's Clemson, Sacramento, all this, and they're all for all everyone's team. They're all over that.
They're gonna have to make some decisions and cut some SEC teams, which is not gonna.
That's why I said, like, this is so crazy. I'm super curious.
course he did.
He's Nebraska's interim OC.
Yeah, I'm coming shortly. Wait on that other dude. lame. Oh, I did not hit this battle. I suppose with 263% density, I'm not handling any pack well. That is fucking bad. No teleport on a Phleg with 260 fucking 3% density. Rewarded with the gold rune. I'll take that.
I did it. I killed the boss I'm not supposed to kill because this class can't do it. This is the greatest thing I've ever built. Oh my god. There you go. You can do Dclone pretty easily with Summonzon. As you can see, he laps up those decoys just like in Ubers. And the funny thing is, guys, I spent money on a Dark Adherent with max fire res, and I forgot to put it on. I did it at 82. And no PDR. Zero is a joke. Zero is a joke, okay? But even then, still getting that on Summonzon. Oh, this is awesome. And I'm rewarded with a 53.18 for all that work. Alright, listen to Lucion. Tier 1 Lucion down. I did much better on the potions. Which might be doable. Yeah, that's way better than finishing with 5. Okay. We had a long fucking fight. I forgot to put BO back on too. Huh. Alright, Wappinator, here we go. Everything at his bricks.
I am overburdened.
Stay a while and listen.
Afternoon.
so annoying. Break trophies. Okay, so that is all 3 bosses killed on the lowest tier at minimum. Should be a nice juicy map in here. I think it was like a 12-minute Phleg. Pretty good for Phleg. That's a long map. Should be everything you need to know about how to build a Summonzon. Going over weapons, you can use any weapon, and all that gear. Style I'm running, and you can kill every boss in the game with it. You can Uber, you can Dclone, Rathma, Lucion. You guys like?
Okay, so everyone in my house is asleep, and no one's watching this series but the hardcores who like me for some reason. So I don't just assume I don't need a gear update here, but the one gear update is I got a sick demon machine. I know it doesn't have 4 sockets, but I've slammed 2 burrs into it because I think Crushing Blow is the answer to clearing ads on a class that has great single target damage but doesn't have that AoE screen clearing ability. I will try tier 2 Lucion with this, but yeah, we're still rocking the Dark Adherent and the Disciple set. Switched on to an Andy's face to get the Poison Res up. Cold Res is at 89, and Poison Length reduced. Bolts. Gotta try this with 125. It's gonna be brutal, but hey, let's give it a shot here, right? Nothing to lose. If I can get Summonzon to clear at least the minimum, tier 0 Rathma, tier 0 Dclone, which is going to be impossible because of the pillars. I've already cleared tier 1 Lucion, and Ubers are doable. Well, I've done something cool. Start this off. Wow. Okay. So those pillars do absorb. Oh, fucking shots them. That's definitely not great. Doesn't speak well for Dclone, honestly. Pillars exist in tier 3rd phase, so we should be okay. Honestly, that's going to be the hardest phase, right? That has to be. Because I can't focus target him. I gotta let the decoys do all the
I
damage to him.
can't carry anymore.
Yeah, there we go. We're already stocked up on shoes. Well,
I can't.
let's get rid of the antidotes. This might be a pretty poor decision, but let's do it. If you're mad at the speed I'm going, it's because I'm nervous. I was tier 0, but this is not a class that should be able to do this.
I am overburdened.
I'm stocked. Alright. Okay. By the way, it's spreading the decoys across the entire map so that they have no idea where to target. Like that. Someone's targeting me. That fucker. Can't do that. Motherfucker thought he was gonna phase. That was much, much easier than fucking bend down. Okay. I think we just got to heal through the this has got to be a pure reserve. I'm just gonna put damage to it from keep popping the decoys and just roll with it. Spam as much as I can.
I can't carry
It's
it.
gotta be the answer. Dude, I was kind of worried about that Summonzon, I am Summonzon. I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. Okay. Draw me an anvil. Stocked. Stocked. Let's go. Oh my god, this is fucking insane. I need to do something too. I'm not gonna have time to put things into my belt now. Oh my god, I can't believe I did it. Are you kidding me? On Summonzon? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know the fight, dude. I'm just fucking laying decoys and spraying. Are you fucking with me? Oh my god, that was my first fucking attempt. Look, there's probably fucking hardcore players and people laughing at me like tier 0 Rathma, but you know what, dude? I'm fucking Summonzon, good class. Good fucking class. I can map with this. I can clear tier fucking 3 thrones in 8 minutes. I can now kill tier 1 Lucion. I can kill tier 0 Rathma. I'm gonna get Dclone down with this motherfucker. That first phase was brutal, and that's how the whole Dclone fight is gonna do. But if I can clear all the bosses in the game and map, like even Canite said, 7 minutes for non-teleport classes is like mechanically impossible. If I can do 8-minute maps and clear all the bosses to farm all the mats in the game, what is wrong with this? Fucking right. Dark Adherence set, man. Disciple set. Best set in the fucking game. Crushing Blow. Good fucking stat. I don't have good bolts. I could find Crushing Blow, Poison Link bolts. Holy shit. G fucking G, boys. What did I say? I hype myself up? I don't play Summonzon. I am the Summonzon.